Good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This is session 52 of Rogues to Riches. We'll start off in mythical Thule, another world, another plane of existence, if you will. Well, probably same plane, another world either way. Hobbs, you have been trapped in this world for, over a year now, I think. Um, you find the world to be very archaic, extremely low tech, like centuries behind the world you came from, technology wise. Um, Essentially, it's basically like kind of early Iron Age, you know, as far as all that goes. Um, the people are divided up into tribes, essentially, within um, kingdoms, and they have a pantheon of gods basically that they worship. Um, the particular society which you ended up in is a Sather society. So they don't so much worship the gods as gods. They see them as like powerful spirits, and through their magic, they're able to then basically kind of control these spirits and grant themselves magical powers. Unfortunately, you are unable to learn any of their magic. And if you try to do so, they are also unable, they're incapable of learning your magic. It just doesn't work out from different planes, different realms, if you will, different worlds. So um, you've been limited pretty much to your own spells. You had your spell book and everything with you though, so I mean, it's not like you can't still study and cast spells and all that. Um, but yeah, it's overall a little bit dull. Um, Unlike the world you come from, monsters in this world seem to be relatively commonplace. Everybody believes in monsters. The primary uh, monsters of the world are the Ettins, which in their mythology came from space, essentially, like these rocks that fell from space that were the Ettin hearts and formed these creatures on the planet. Um, Multiple different kinds, but they're also always tied to some kind of element. You know, there's like the Ettins of water, Ettins of fire, Ettins of air, Ettins of earth, etc. Um, so that's the largest kind of supernatural existential threat in this particular world that you'd found yourself in. For the most part, though, with your abilities and your powers, um, no real challenge for you. Like you're perfectly capable of defending yourself, and a lot of like the people here kind of see you not even as a man, but as a like a almost like a spirit put into human form because of your powers. You're not like any man that ever lived on this world, anyway. So you've come to kind of enjoy kind of a revered status, as it were, um, because of your abilities and stuff. You're very, very useful to the people of this world. So yeah, so you've, despite the fact that you probably miss all of the things that you liked about living on Earth, you've lived pretty comfortably. One day, you're relaxing in your home, which is essentially like a kind of a combination of mud, brick, and wood, kind of, almost cottage-like home. Um, this one is all yours. It was given to you by the people of this village. Um, and there is a knock at your door.
I will get up, put down my memoir about my journeys in Africa, and I will answer the door. I'm wearing elaborate red robes There's some gray in the red hair of my beard, and my robe has long gold trimmings on it from the as a gift from one of the local chiefs. And then I'll pull up my sleeves and I'll answer the door.
A man is standing there, a kind of wizened old man, white hair and beard, and immediately um, you realize he's not from this world either. You can just by his clothes you can tell. And he says, "Mr. Hobbs,
Indeed, sir. What brings you to this neck of the woods?
I've come looking for you.
Mm,
My patron has told me of some of your exploits on the world called Earth, particularly in the Kingdom of Britain. Would it be called Britain then? What was it called? England, sorry. In the Kingdom of England. Actually, it's not even a kingdom, it's multiple kingdoms, isn't it? The land of England, we'll call it, sorry. Land of the Angles. I understand you were brought here through magical means, not entirely of your own will. Would that be correct?
um, yeah, very true. I found myself thrust into this strange world, but I cannot complain. These people are simple, and there's an adventure around every corner.
Hmm.
Although I do grow weary from my home, but one cannot complain.
And you were an associate of one Antonio Valenti, is that correct?
Um, the name does ring a bell. Of course, it's been a while.
What if I told you I could get you back to England?
Hmm, that's quite the proposition. But why would I want to go back?
Well, you can stay here if you wish with these simple people in these simple times.
But there's one man I long to see for. One man's name I must have closure with. Hmm, yes. Maybe maybe we can work something out, sir. What is your name?
You may call me Uravalon.
Ravalon. Well,
Uravalon.
ooh, Ravalon.
Yes.
Tell me more about this way back home.
My patron has given me a spell, the same spell which brought me here. It will allow me to open a one-way portal back to England. I can do this for you, but you will have to do something for me in exchange.
Hmm, what would this thing be?
Your old friend, Antonio, has something that belongs to me. I want you to retrieve it for me.
Hmm, what is this thing, sir?
It is a book
Hmm,
called the
books.
Malleus Deus.
As a magic user, I would know this book, right?
Yes, you've heard of it. Absolutely.
Hmm, I've heard of this book.
I think you even knew that Antonio had it, didn't you?
I don't think so.
Maybe
Hmm,
not. No, okay. I don't know why I thought Hobbs knew about it for some reason. Maybe not. Maybe that was just
hmm,
Ronnie that knew about it.
yeah. uh, um, what
It
is?
is a spell book, a large spell book. You will know it when you see it. It is impossible to not recognize.
And this is all you want? Just the book, not his life?
I care not how you get the book. I just want the book.
Hmm. Well, sir, if I can see my old friend again, you can consider it a deal.
He pulls like a walnut out of his pocket and hands it to you. He says, "When you have it, crack this walnut. Then we will be able to communicate.
All right, I'll take the walnut, put
Don't
it in one of
crack
my
it before you get the book.
indeed,
It only
indeed.
works once."
I'll put it in my inside coat robe pocket.
I would be very disappointed if you let me down, Mr. Hobbs.
Hmm. We cannot have that. Now, let me gather my things and I will prepare to return home.
Hmm. So you gather your things up, and then you walk outside. Um, and he says, "To demonstrate to you my own capabilities, I wouldn't want you to underestimate me, Mr. Hobbs." And he begins casting a spell, which you immediately recognize he's casting magic missile.
Hmm.
And after he casts it, as he casts it, 17 of these white hot, like firework looking kind of bolts fly out, each one hitting a different person in the village. It kills all 17 people. Everybody freaks out, screams, run inside their houses, take cover, because obviously there's a murdering uh, magic user. Well, to them, he probably seems more like a demon. So people scream, take cover, hide, and he looks at you and kind of grins, and then waves his hand, uttering another word which you do not recognize, and a shimmering oval portal appears before you, about 6 feet high and maybe 4 feet, well, maybe 3 feet wide, I should say. It's at its central point, and through that um, portal, you can see um, a kind of verdant land. You see trees, grass, and quite a bit of marsh, even. Looks like a wetland. And he steps through it, and it
All right.
remains.
I will take one last look around the village at all the chaos that this man has wrought.
People are
Now,
people
not
are just like terrified. They're kind of hiding. You can see some of the warriors are gathering up, thinking about doing something, but once they see he goes through the portal, they look kind of relieved that he's gone because they figured they were probably all going to die anyway if they attacked him.
all right. I'll throw my
There,
bag
and
over
these
my
people are just
shoulder.
looking at you, kind of in confusion.
I'll throw the bag over my shoulder with my stuff in it, and then I'll kind of put two fingers towards my forehead and just kind of wave them at him and just walk through the portal.
And you see just before you, as you get ready, you see the portal is already beginning to shrink. You squeeze through it, and it closes behind you. And you're standing, yeah, in dry land, but you can see there's fens and stuff before you. It looks very much like the area where you were last in England, very much like Lincolnshire and South Lincolnshire to be exact. But you also see Aravalon standing there, and he looks to you and says, "This is, believe it or not, the exact point where you entered the monolith. Looks different now, doesn't it?"
Indeed. There used to be a valley here.
Yes. That valley ceased to exist when the monolith ceased to exist.
I'm gonna take a nice deep breath, smell the earth of my home.
Yeah. Um, it's not as clean as the land you came from. Not, it's not as what's the word? The air here is not quite as crisp and fresh, but it takes you a minute maybe to adjust to it. But
Yes, the
it
smell of
definitely,
corruption.
mm,
The smell of corruption is indeed my home.
yes. And
All
the
right.
Raveline says, "I wish you luck, Mr. Hobbs, and I hope to hear from you soon. But do not feel a need to rush.
Oh no, the job should never be rushed. It should be enjoyed.
Indeed. I will be keeping an eye on you. Good luck." And he turns into a deer and runs away.
Oh man, this guy got a hella style. All right, I guess I'll go. Do I know which way is Nonsbeck?
Well, if this is um, indeed the location where you entered the valley, yeah, it wasn't terribly far away. I'd say it was like half a day away,
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Yeah, and yeah, you know which direction. I mean, you could look at the sky. You, you know, figure out which direction is east, west. Yeah, you can find your way back to Nonsbeck.
All right, that's what I'll do then. I'll start walking towards it.
All right, and we go back to Klaus, Antonio, Nigel, and Colin. There's Colin. You guys had set yourselves up in the inn, if I recall correctly. Yes, in Nonsbeck.
That's correct.
You'd put all your valuables, if I recall correctly, into the um, locked room. You remember the room that used to belong to the owners of the inn. You turned that into kind of like your new vault temporarily.
Right.
And I think you guys had taken up residence in the other rooms, yeah, or
Indeed.
something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh yeah, notes. I need notes. What day was that? I'll pull it up. We'll get there in a second. So, what are you doing anyway? You've managed to got that all set up. You've rested a night. Nobody has come to disturb you.
Is there a basement to the inn?
There is a cellar. Yes.
I'm gonna take up residence down there.
Okay. There's loads of like booze and food and stuff down there.
Are there any spiders around?
Oh, I'm sure there's spiders. Yeah.
I want to catch one and talk to it.
Excellent. Yeah. You can catch a spider and talk to it.
I want to tell it
Yeah. Go ahead.
this is a safe place. Bring your friends. I'll feed you. And then I spider climb and cast web and show it that I'm like it. I'm like it.
And the spider says, "It's a safe place for my friends. I don't have any friends."
Others of your kind.
Ah, who are you? How is it you can speak my language?
I'm like you. Spidery.
And what do you want from me?
I just want you to live in this basement
I
and
already live in this basement.
be my friend and help me if I need you. And I'll protect you and feed you.
You are the first two legs I've ever seen that could speak my language.
And I can walk on the wall and I can make a web. What? I choke
Yeah,
one.
you vomit up a web. He says,
We are
"Yes,
similar.
you lack a certain grace, but
Yes,
perhaps you will get better in time."
my form is imperfect. such as yours, but I am your friend. Bring more of like yourself. Infest this basement.
You will have to provide us with plenty of food source.
Sure.
I I get by myself down here, but the last time I had any competition, I had to kill him. Wasn't enough food for both of us.
I'll make sure the insects blow. Or if you want larger things like small mice, I want you to grow larger.
Christ, how big is the spider? I was
Or
imagining like a one of those little not that they're not little, they're one of those big kind of like brown,
yeah, like I'm inviting any and all spiders to
like a wolf spider.
come nest here. The bigger, the better. I'll feed them whatever they want,
Hmm.
as long as they are my friend. Don't attack me. Yeah, I protect you. You protect me.
My kind generally we avoid two legs.
Yes, but I'm different.
You're much larger than we are.
Well, the offer's out there.
Of course, do what we can. Let's see how well you come through with your promises.
How much? What kind of food does he want? I don't even think. Remember, this isn't how this spell works. I'm supposed to.
You're supposed to ask questions, aren't you? Ah, fuck it. It's fun.
So yeah, what does he want? Flies,
Yeah, he wants flies. Flies are the best. Juicy,
crickets.
juicy flies. Crickets are okay, bit crunchy. Flies are better.
Well, I'm gonna get like a piece of rotten meat or something and attract flies to the basement.
Nice. All right. And then eventually you will get some sleep, I presume.
Yep. But I sleep down there. I'm just
Oh, which one of these pictures is the right one? I am trying to find the updated picture of Nonsbeck. I think this is the one. Yes, that's the one. Whoa, Jesus Christ, that's big. Sorry, guys. Let me fix that. Holy crap, why is it so huge? That's what she said. God damn, this is a big image. We're almost there. And let's make it a little smaller so I don't have to block everybody's fucking faces out. There we go. That'll work. That's pretty good. Ah, a little smaller. All right. Nonsbeck. So you put out, um, let me see here. Yeah, I mean you can find some spoiled meat, but you can put more stuff out. Maybe put it up. It's late summer, if I recall, so you can put it outside so it'll rot faster.
Yeah. I'll attract flies. Set up
Exactly.
some netting or something to capture them, or whatever. I don't know. Draw them into the basement somehow.
Yeah,
And any
you can,
that catch, I'll throw them down there.
you could leave a trail of rotten meat over to the cellar door and just leave the cellar door open.
Yep.
Once they get in there and they start laying their eggs, you know.
Put rotten meat in the basement.
I don't know how your companions will feel about all the rotten meat laying around, but I guess we'll find out in the morning. So so Colin, Klaus, and Tony, when you do wake up the next day, you'll find Nigel studiously at work, putting bits of meat around.
Around the whole inn?
Well, he seems to be trailing it in from the outside over to the cellar, and
Nigel,
he's got the cellar door propped open.
what are you doing?
don't don't worry about it. Nothing.
don't think it's particularly healthy to leave rotting meat lying around.
I'm trying to attract flies.
Why not leave I'm not going to pry into why, but why not just leave a piece of meat outside until it becomes fly blown, and bring it in then, rather than just tracking it all over the floor.
Very well.
To not have to smell rotting meat all over the place.
When are you going to teach me these
What?
secrets that you've been teasing with for weeks now?
Oh, well, there was a few complications along the way,
Of course.
snake cultists burning the town down. Well, we did most of that. Troops of mercenaries attacking me out of nowhere. Nearly dying. There's, a few distractions involved.
Yes, but it seems we're safe now.
Is it?
For now.
We just arrived back in town yesterday.
I feel safe already.
Hmm.
We were victorious. Don't you still feel it? Didn't that boost your confidences? You got your books back. All is right. All is well.
We'll see. You'll see. Soon, then. Just give it a few days to be sure that we're safe here before we start buckling down and studying. I don't have very much supplies left.
Fine.
It's not easy to, or
You are
cheap to start transferring spells.
fine, fine. You are the master. You know best, I suppose.
I'm no master.
Oh, now you tell me.
It is now the 1st of September, actually. Look at that. There we go.
Does anybody hurt or?
Is anybody still hurt?
No. I'm not.
I'm not.
Okay.
I
Colin?
guess,
Is Colin hurt? I don't think Colin's hurt. Colin's
Oh,
only
no, I am
possible hit.
actually.
Oh, you
Yeah,
are?
I am actually. Yeah, I'm down 6 hit points.
Okay. Well, I'll heal you, and then I'll use the rest of the healing on myself because
Yeah.
I'm definitely still hurting.
I'll put you back to full, Antonio.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it's a D6 plus 6 or 7 now, Klaus?
5.
Oh, 5. Okay, I thought you were level 6. D6 plus 5 is, yeah, so the minimum
Nah,
is
but
6.
if you want me to be, I'll be more than
No,
happy to
no,
be
that's
level.
all right. No, that's all right. Oops, wrong name. There we go. Luciana. We left off with you. You were trying to track the rogues, try to figure out where they went, yeah?
Yeah, with my cousins Miguel and
Mhm.
Alejandro. Yes.
Miguel and Alejandro?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and who's the tracker?
It'd be me.
It'd be you?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've been tracking them for a little over a day, right? Let's see. So the first time you were tracking them was on the 30th, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it was. 30th, 31st. Yeah, so it's the next day. You tracked them all day yesterday, and we're basically running around in circles, not having any luck.
Sounds about right.
And the trail has led you right back here to Nonsbeck. And it's much, it's still in the same, pretty much same condition as you found it. But what did you guys did change them, right? You moved some of the bodies out of the inn.
Yeah, we put them all to the back.
Okay.
So we can deal with them.
Oh yeah. So there's a big cloud of flies at the back of the inn, up on the hill.
There's my fly. I'm moving from there.
There you go. Yeah, fuck that. You don't need rotting meat. You got rotting flesh. Human beings. Oh, sort of human beings. Some of them are human. Yeah. And, just to make it simple, you see somebody mulling around back there, messing around with this pile of bodies now that wasn't there before. You remember seeing all the bodies in the inn and stuff like that, but now there seem to be a bunch of bodies piled up behind the inn up on the hill. And yeah, you can see a figure there. Nigel, what does Nigel look like? What's he wearing? Has he got dark clothes?
Yeah, like dark leather and dark robes.
Right. Yeah. You see an unsavory-looking fellow in dark robes and leather.
Dark greasy hair.
Yeah, fiddling around, pale skin.
Sickly.
It,
What the
it,
hell?
it looks like he might be trying to remove an arm from one of those corpses.
Kind of gestures to Miguel and Alejandro to just stay on guard, just in case.
Okay. Nigel, roll d20 for me.
4.
You see three figures standing kind of at the crossroads there to just east of the smithy. They seem
Yeah,
to be
we're on
coming from the southern
horseback.
road. Oh yeah, you're on horsebacks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I,
three people on horses.
I narrow my eyes at them and then I hustle inside the inn.
With the severed arm.
Well,
The rotting severed arm.
I'll leave that for now.
Okay. You hustle into the inn. I assume that it's kind of late morning at this point. You guys have had time to prepare spells and stuff like that. And,
I'll start yelling to them, hey, there's somebody out here. Someone's approaching. To arms.
Klaus, Antonio, Colin, you guys all can definitely hear that. I assume you're all kind of probably in the main room anyway of the inn.
I think it was too good to be true.
Damn it. I'll run over and slam the door closed and seal it.
Riders approaching.
Get inside!
When you say seal it, do you mean you just lock the door, or are you going to cast a magical?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I'm just going to lock it.
I just want
through
to make
the
sure.
bar.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, the door of the inn, you mean?
Right.
Okay, sorry, I was thinking of the room with all the stuff in it. Okay, gotcha.
No, that's locked already.
I
Okay.
get behind the bar, pull out my gun.
Okay. What about Colin? Klaus?
Volunteer now. I had to. Somebody come to my door, so I've been.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So Nigel came running in and said somebody's approaching, and so Antonio ran over and barred the door to the inn. Nigel climbed behind the bar, well, probably walked around behind the bar and pulled out a pistol. And he's kind of like half crouched behind the bar, pointing his gun at the door.
Paranoid.
Mm-hmm. What do you do? Rob?
George,
Yeah.
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 What?
I had
Sorry.
trouble with my sound. Okay. All right. I heard you say, yeah, everybody locked the doors and kind of locking themselves in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Okay. And I'm assuming I'm still inside the.
The inn, yeah. Yeah, you're in the common room.
Okay. Sounds good.
Do you just chilling at the table still, just waiting to see what happens, or do you want to?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So Colin just continues, kind of finishing his late breakfast. And Klaus?
Klaus is probably gonna get near a window and just post up with his crossbow, like looking outside.
Cool. All right.
You see them?
Oh, yeah, looking out the window? Yeah. Do you guys, what do you do when you see that figure scurry in the house, Luciana? What do you and your cousins do?
Well, what the hell is going on? Did that man just drop his severed arm? What's happened to this place? It's only been gone a few hours. What the hell?
Well,
You two, well, half a day or so.
yeah,
A day? Yeah.
about a day.
Well, it's a good place to check. I hope they'll be friendly towards us. We might be able to get some answers.
And so you go.
Them to, they'll probably keep a distance, so they'll go in a formation
Okay.
towards
the inn.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start to approach the inn. Are you in the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be in the front.
Give me a d20 roll, please.
18.
Okay. No problem. Hobbs, as you are approaching, you be coming on the western road. You can see the house up ahead. the house that you used to live in briefly, right?
Yeah.
With the guys.
Yeah.
It is a ruin. Looks like there's been some kind of fire. The only bits that are still standing are the stone kind of supports and framing. Uh, the wood is all burnt away. You know, parts of the stone have probably collapsed a bit as well. Um, and I won't make you roll for this because you're coming from the western road. You can see three people on horseback riding up towards the inn. Looks like a woman at the front.
Hmm. I'll hail to her.
Okay, sure. Hail away.
Hey, yeah, she'll actually, if she sees you going, she'll get off her horse, and the other two will follow, and she'll gesture to Miguel to hold on to her horse, and she'll walk towards you.
Yeah, the first thing you'll notice is the odd clothing with a red, elaborate robe with gold trimmings. Something very, very strange. Very, very weird attire, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I'll hail. I'll put my hand up and say, "Hail! I'm a passing traveler. Can you tell me what happened here?"
Uh, Honestly, I was about to ask you the same. I am not from this from this land. I was actually here to find my brother, or brothers actually.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm just a man on a quest to find my friend. I
ah,
just I heard this is somewhere where he might be staying.
a man on a quest, the most interesting of men.
Indeed.
Have very
But
interesting tales to tell.
uh, oh, you like stories, do you?
Ah, yes, especially exciting stories of manly adventures.
Mm,
They're the
well,
most exciting. Even though most of them are lies. I know what men are like.
indeed. Well, I'll have to sit down over a drink and I'll tell you some stories that I have.
Well, my cousins here can keep an eye on horses. You could accompany me into the bar and we can find the answers we require. What is your name, sir?
Hobbs, Gideon Hobbs.
Ah, I am uh, I am Luciana. Yeah, but you seem nice enough. You can call me Lucy.
All right, Lucy. Let us be on our way to the inn.
Okay.
So you were watching out the window, right, Klaus, a bit, peeking out.
Yes, sir.
So you see this woman dismount off her horse and go walking out a little bit on the western road, and you see another figure come up and talking to her in these red robes with this gold trim. It's looks fancy, but at the same time, it doesn't look like anything you've seen before. It doesn't look like any modern make in England or Europe that you've seen. Give me a d20 roll.
9.
What's your wisdom? It's got to be higher than that, I suppose, being a cleric and all. But
16.
yeah, you immediately then once you get past looking at this guy's robes, trying to figure out where the hell they were made. Is it? No, it doesn't look Chinese. And then you catch a glimpse of the guy's face, and you see it's Hobbs.
I think as he's looking, he would just give out, like, when you're thinking and you say something in your head and you don't mean to say it.
Yeah, you say it out
He
loud. Yeah.
just, yeah, he would be like, Hobbs? Like, we're like, what the hell? Like, I thought he was dead.
What?
Then he'll go, look, it's Hobbs with some woman.
Take a look.
Yeah, you see Hobbs and this woman who are now walking back towards the door. And if you look to your left, you'll also still see the other two Spanish gentlemen standing with three horses.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say Luciana is kind of in like, because obviously Spain's quite hot, so she's in quite revealing like clothes anyway, but
Hmm.
Yeah, give us
they're
a
more
description of
suited
her.
for they're more suited for hot weather. So She has a long. She has long black hair. She's very attractive. Obviously got the Spanish tanned skin.
Mm.
Um, her demeanor, she comes across very confident in how she walks and acts,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't shy away from danger, and she has bright blue eyes.
What's your charisma score? Just out of curiosity.
Her charisma score is 15.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, she's not just physically attractive, but yeah, even in the way she carries herself and her confident demeanor. She's a very attractive woman approaching the door with Hobbs.
I'll turn to everyone else and say, be careful just in case, but he's right. That's Hobbs.
What is a Hobbs, and is it dangerous?
Hmm. Yes, and you'll have to see for yourself.
Very well.
Open the door.
That might be my favorite line. What is a Hobbs and is it dangerous? Okay, so you go over and pull the bolt, the bar off the door.
Yep.
I take
Open the door.
Luciana in my arm, like
Yeah,
arm
yeah.
holder, like a gentleman would.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like put her on your arm and yeah.
Yeah.
And the door opens and Antonio Valenti is standing there.
Hobbs.
Antonio. I'll kind of raise my hand. It's been too long, my old friend.
Indeed, where have you been? We all thought you dead.
Nah, not this Hobbs, old friend.
Goodness gracious.
I've many tales to regale you with.
Indeed, there's much to tell you as well. Who is your friend?
Some
I
passing traveler.
I am Luciana. I am actually looking for my brothers.
Oh,
Yes, Antonio and Giacomo.
oh.
Well, you found Antonio anyway, didn't you?
She did found Antonio.
Yeah, yeah,
So she's just looking for Giacomo.
yeah. But that's okay. You can still say whatever you want. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't remembering it correctly.
Yeah. No. I'll re. I found I actually found one of my brothers dead here, but
Mhm.
I'm still looking for the other Giacomo.
Wait a moment. Antonio. My
Yes.
Antonio?
Uh,
You mean Geo?
His name was actually Antonio. Antonio Medina.
yes.
Medina.
I am Luciana de Medina. I am his younger sister.
Well,
I wonder your beauty must be generational. Of course. Where is Medina?
Why don't you all come in so we can have a serious talk?
indeed.
Yes. I gesture for my cousins to come in. This is Miguel and Alejandro. They are our cousins.
I'll
They
nod to them.
they nod and say,
What are
well,
we in?
maybe we should stable these horses, and they start going towards the stables.
Good point.
Are we letting all these people in here? What is this, an inn?
It is exactly an inn.
Start serving up drinks?
I'm sorry to be quite frank,
Silver
but
glass.
Tell the
I'm
gentleman that we have the stables has great service and reasonable pricing.
Yeah, it's free. There's no one there.
I'm sorry to kind of intervene, but I would really like to know what happened to my brother Antonio, as I did find him dead.
Please sit down and we'll tell you everything.
Indeed.
Uh, well, I wish to stand. To be honest, I've been sitting down for quite a while.
Hobbs,
Sitting in a horse and sitting in a chair are two separate things, but if you choose to stand,
Yes,
that is your right.
I prefer to stand for now.
Geez,
Hob-
is nobody going to offer the lady a drink?
Hobbs will sit down.
I'll bring her a glass of wine. My lady, a glass of wine.
Ah, thank you. You are a very charming gentleman. I would like to ask why you were holding a severed arm or something, and ran in here like a creepy old man.
Well, I was startled by your approach,
Indeed.
but I was
Many terrible things have happened in this town. Oh, forgive me.
looking for useful parts. Nothing unusual.
Fair enough.
Shake my head.
You're one of those kind of gentlemen.
Mm.
Yes, I am a gentleman.
You there, barman? Where's my drink?
It's over there.
Yeah,
Mm.
fetch it.
Silver on the bar.
You bring the woman drink, but you don't bring
Well, of
one.
course, look at her beauty.
Thank you. And thank you for the drink.
Who are you, good sir, with your red robes, crimson and gold?
I am the man asking for a drink.
Well, they're all free at the moment.
I'm not a bartender.
I'll go and grab a bottle. The one that he poured the wine from and bring it over to the table along with some glasses.
I notice he has gold teeth.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
right. Yeah,
forgot
that's
about
right.
that.
Hobbs' teeth are all gold as well. Good point. Yeah, you would definitely notice if you're looking, like, you'd catch, like, at first you might just think, oh, geez, this guy has to brush his teeth. Well, they don't
Yeah.
brush teeth back then, did
It's
they?
quite a
Not the
strange
same way as we
deal.
do now, but his teeth
Forgive
are
my,
really fucking, like, glowing yellow.
you're quite a
Uh,
strange gentleman. Let me forgive my rudeness. I'll get you a drink.
Finally, some manners around here.
I'll
Now
pour,
tell me what happened to Antonio.
I'll pour him a glass of wine.
Yes,
Well.
I would definitely like to know.
We had been commissioned to go and, well, no. Sorry, we were on our way to a. Well, it all started with a funeral. On our way back, after some harrowing experiences, we get to town. We are approaching town, and the apprentice to the blacksmith, we found him on the road, insensible. Something terrible calamity had apparently happened in the village, or in the hamlet, whatever you call this place. When we rested for the night, Antonio went ahead to investigate to see if he could find out what would happen, and never returned.
Damn. I bet his curiosity got the better of him.
It
When
was
we,
snakes.
yes, apparently, and unbeknownst to us, we had been residing in the middle of a den of snake cultists. It was them who did your brother in.
Snakes in the grass.
When we investigated the church, thinking perhaps there were refugees inside, your other brother, Giacomo, who we had met along the way, well, he met his demise in there as well.
Tell me he
Again.
went out gracefully.
Oh, certainly. He fought him. He fought to the last breath to ensure that we were able to escape.
I very much doubt that my brother was a fool, but
Hmm.
I will
Um,
take your word for it.
Hobbs will start sobbing uncontrollably.
We
Buried
then
up in
proceeded to emulate the church and went back to our home, the burnt out husk across the road. As we were preparing for the morning to continue our assault in the town, they burned it down atop of us. We lost a few more of the villagers in that chaos.
We narrowly escaped with our lives.
Indeed. I was sure I had died, and we went to Boston to see about getting assistance, and well, they were no help, so we came back on our own and cleared out the rest of what we could, and now we are here, taking over the inn.
Aren't the Medinas buried up at the graveyard?
One of them is. The other is
And
buried under the ashes of the church.
Regardless, we gotta give them a proper burial, especially after those snakes
And I would like to
Yeah.
know who is up on
defiled
that
them.
hill. Indeed. They
Your
do need to be disinterred and given proper rites,
is it Antonio that's buried up there?
among
Yeah.
others. Yes.
Bob, your friend is buried up at the hill if you'd like to go visit his grave.
Indeed. He's wiping his tears away. I will go
He was
Did
after I had my drink.
I barely knew him, but he was an okay man.
See, Luciana isn't crying because she cried when she found his body, so she's cried enough tears. So.
He hated me, but he really loved me.
I don't know.
Antonio,
And I will kind of snort as I take a sip.
I wonder why he would.
Indeed. Indeed.
Luciana gets the next. I wonder why he hated you. He seems such a kind man.
I,
Odd, but
I never
very.
understood. He said he couldn't trust me. I guess
Wow.
because I mistook him for a servant when we first met. He never forgave me for that.
Well, he does have
Luciana,
many enemies.
But I saw us as great friends. I even told him so once.
dear sister,
Yes,
surely,
how did you know him?
oh, your brother and I went back many decades to the plains of Africa.
Oh, really? You were with him
Oh
there.
yes,
Then
we're very close.
then you would then you should know who I am.
Of course, he spoke very highly of you.
No, I mean I was there too, for a short while.
Oh, you were. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. It's coming back to me now. I'll never forget that face, Luciana. Never.
Except for the fact that you already did.
Kind of looks at Nigel and then the other three and's like, this is the kind of man I think my brother would hate.
Hobbs takes a drink, ignoring the comments.
I don't know him, but he was pretty demanding about his drink.
I don't know. I think they were quite the pair, if you ask me.
Oh, is this that man that y'all can't stop talking about? Hobbs, Hobbs that.
Never met that gentleman before. It was before my time here. I don't know him and I don't know her. And until now, she's introduced herself as Antonio's, I mean, as his sister. This is getting confusing. So you are the sister to both of the
Medinas, yes. There's
Medinas.
we have quite a big family.
Yeah, okay. And I know he used another name that I've been calling him, but his name is actually another name. This is confusing.
Yes,
Yeah, there was a reason for the other name. He was there are other forces that were looking for him, so to ensure his safety, I gave him the moniker of Gio da Silva.
yes, it's why me and Giacomo and the cousins and his oldest brother was coming over here. We had news to tell him, but it's probably best he died not knowing that news. So.
He did talk about a family, but not brothers and sisters. He talked about a wife and children that he was protecting. That's all I ever heard of him. In front of me, he talked of that, and that was it. So far as his personal life,
Yes.
I was asking him who was taking care of his children if he was out gallivanting around. He said his brothers. Well, now his brother's dead too.
Well, he has more, but no one is taking care of his children anymore. Well, God is anyway. God.
Such a pit.
Well, gentlemen, I don't know about you guys, but I'm about to start working on those graves. So if anybody wants to come with me, fine. If not, then I'll see you later. And you will see Klaus grab like a shovel and some holy water, and he will start heading towards the graves.
Yep, walking up. I mean, if you go upstairs, second floor at the end, you can go out the back door leads right out onto the hill. you know, halfway up to the church, pretty much.
Yeah, he would do that then. He wants to make sure he can get the bodies out and splash holy water and not undefile them pretty much.
Just
Perhaps
yeah,
your
do it.
cousins might be
Sorry.
able to assist him, Lady Medina.
Yeah, Miguel and Alejandro, right?
Yes, Miguel
Yeah,
and Alejandro.
yeah, they'll definitely volunteer to help.
Yeah, they will help.
Antonio, where is my horse?
Oh boy, I have no idea. We have lost all our horses.
It was a very special horse, Antonio. How could you lose it?
You'll have to ask the snake cultists, so that they're mostly dead. I don't know if there are any others.
I see. I guess I will have to find another horse.
There's plenty around, I'm sure, for purchase.
Did we take the horses from the bandits we killed last session?
Oh yeah.
Yep. And they're in the stables. That's what we're
Uh-huh.
starting our stables with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. How many did you have?
There was 10 bandits, right?
And I had a stolen horse.
And then we had 3 others, so 14 altogether.
Okay.
This horse was special. I had to make a deal with the local orphanage to trade for it.
Well, if you're willing to go wandering the woods to try to find it, I don't even know if it was still among our stables when we were living here.
May have to make another trip to the city.
Well, we have other horses here as well. I would be happy to sell one to you.
Maybe, friend.
Now, what is your tale, Hobbs? You disappeared over a year ago, and you come back in this outlandish garb with your...
No,
What happened to your teeth, in fact?
these are. Well, Antonio, I have quite the tale. I went down to the valley in search of adventure and I found it. The valley led me to the great limbo. And inside this limbo, I got lost forever. Or so I thought.
My goodness.
But I managed to escape. And here I am.
That is where you found the robes and had your mouth turned to treasure?
Well,
How
limbo is a strange place, Antonia. Strange people reside there who
Hmm.
worship me as a god. But I
It's
am
kind
no
of...
god. I am just a man. And
I
such
secretly roll my eyes a little bit and chuckle.
the call of home was too much. I
Hmm.
had to return. And so, with a guide named Virgil, he led me out of limbo. And here I am.
Interesting tale. And what of the others in your expedition party?
Oh, dead.
Hmm. They never did return here either.
Straight to the inferno.
Goodness me. Harrowing adventure indeed. You're lucky to have survived with your life.
Indeed. Limbo is not a place to be trifled with, Antonio. I do
Hmm.
not wish that on any man. I've seen the first level of hell.
Goodness gracious.
fascinating.
Nigel, Hobbs is a scholar as we are. And I look at Hobbs and grin.
Oh, this is a learned man as well. And I'll look at Nigel.
Indeed.
Yes.
In fact, we were about to engage in a joint research project soon, as we once did.
Yes, you had such a wonderful lab and library. But the thing that was all destroyed.
I'm hoping
Pity.
some of it could be some of it could be recovered. We need to contact the stonemason, though. Perhaps the man who I had helped build it in the first place.
Well, yeah, maybe we should go check. It might still be intact. We could just have a hole in the ground where we do our work.
If that is the case, then I would like to see it covered up and protected.
We should go check that out.
Indeed.
I must visit Medina's grave. I had to have closure.
He is on the hill behind the burnt church. Klaus has gone up there to perform proper rites for the others who are victims of the attack. In fact, I will head up there in a moment myself. I'd like to know who was put in those graves that they dug on the hill. You are muted, Ian.
Yeah, I just said, oh, right. Yeah, I better look that up real quick. Tell you who's there.
I'll guide Hobbs to the graves. Come, my friend. Let us get you your closure.
I'm gonna go nose around the burnt remains of the house.
Luciano's
Okay.
drinking wine.
There's a whole bottle on the table there. Well,
So
half a bottle.
let's see here. So you checked those graves, those fresh graves, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, of course, you found Medina. Um, you will find that half of so six of the other unmarked fresh graves belong to young children who have been disemboweled. The other half are local menfolk who show signs of a violent death, including Albert the Smith, still clutching his blood-stained hammer in both hands.
My word.
The other five local menfolk obviously would all be from the surrounding farms and such.
But definitely like with the Medina brothers or cousins, he would be like digging grave to grave and just getting them out. And as they get them out, he would put like a cross in between their hands. And once he gets them all, he would close their eyes and splash like holy water on them, and then he would start like praying and saying how these brave people gave their lives for the better good, and
Are
it
you
was.
also going to pull Giacomo's body out of the pit in the burnt remains of the church?
I probably head there, but I think first I want to take care of this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean he's gonna be fucking
Yeah,
practically
that.
ashes anyway because you guys dumped a bunch of oil on him and set him on fire. So
But pretty much he would just like like saying how these people they were brave, and they deserve to be praised for what they did when they fought. So
no problem. Yeah, you can give him a proper uh, burial, proper ceremony to
yeah,
set
I
their
think
souls at rest. And
at first he will have them help him put all the baddies back except for Medina's body, so that way everybody can say goodbye.
hmm
And then after that, he's gonna head to the church and find Giacomo's body. And if he finds the ashes, he will find like a box to put the ashes in, so he can give them to the sister.
okay, where do you put the ashes into? Just gonna get like you can
Like a
get a
small box.
yeah, sure. I'm sure you can find something like that in the inn or something. Nigel, you said you were going over to the house while the rest
Yeah,
of them were checking up the bodies and all that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna skip through the debris, see if I can find the basement door.
Yeah, yeah, easy enough. You know exactly where it is. Just gotta kind of move a little bit of rubble out of the way. The basement door itself, of course, was burnt. It was wood. Um, there's a lot of ash and debris that has fallen down onto the stairs leading down. The stairs themselves, they were probably wood as well. Yeah, so they're probably burnt out too, actually. Yeah, I remember saying that before. Those stairs are gone. Yeah. Um, so you can see down into the basement, but it's pretty dark down there.
How far down is the drop? About 10 feet.
Yeah, not bad. About 10 feet.
I'm gonna look around the rest of the ruins, like where our rooms were and stuff. See if I can
Okay.
find remains or that spare room. There was a shovel in there.
Um,
Anything like that survive?
the shovel head survived. The shaft is gone. Pretty much anything that was metal would have survived, or stone.
So,
Might be damaged by the flames or blackened or something. But
sword or two.
the fire
I'm
wasn't hot enough to like melt metal or.
I don't have any rope, so I'm gonna go over to the stables and see if I can find a rope.
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem.
Use that to climb down the hole.
All right, yeah, you can find something. You can tie it off to one of the stone supports, lower it down in, climb down. It's dark.
Light,
Hmm?
light a lamp. I got a
Yeah,
lantern.
cool. So you can see a lot of debris has fallen into here, and there's maybe some, smoke marks on the walls and such. Let me pull up that image. Actually, oh, this will probably be another huge image, won't it? Let's find out. House. Um, where is it? That's the one. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. That one actually worked out pretty well.
It's just going to be that section on the right there. That's the whole basement.
Yeah, cover up some of the house. So, yeah, when you go down into the basement, that first section, like where your barrels of beer and wine and stuff are. I think you guys broke open a few of the barrels of beer to soak yourselves when you were running out through the burning building. So I marked off 3 of them on your list. The other 7 are still there. The barrels themselves, they might be a little bit smoke damaged, but they weren't burnt. Still got 10 barrels of whiskey down here. You find the bottle of wine.
Well, we went in the secret door there at the end, and when we ran out, he probably left it open.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can go through the secret door into the library, right?
Well, you come into the laboratory first, I think.
Does it?
Yeah, the library. That's a curtain separating the library.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yes, you're right. The door's under the stairs, isn't it? It leads into the laboratory. Yep. Okay, you go into the laboratory.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around with my light, assess the damage. Is it like did the ceiling come through? Did it damage shit? Is it
No, the ceiling, which would have been the floor of the first floor, is stone, so it did not.
all right? So everything's pretty good.
Yeah, the laboratory is in good condition, really. That still smells of smoke, but it's not badly damaged in any way. Nothing that can't be cleaned up.
Check the library.
The library behind the curtain. The curtain itself reeks of smoke. You go into the library, and the library, similar to the laboratory, there might be a little bit of smoke damage, although this part would have been the part that got the least amount of the smoke anyway. Everything looks to be still functional, still in you might even grab, obviously it's the library, so obviously you got books there. Grab some of the books, flip through them. None of the books were, nothing down here was hit by flames,
I
just a
won't
bit of
touch
smoke.
anything. I remember him saying everything down here was cursed, but all of
Okay,
our items have survived.
everything
Excellent.
looks okay in the library and the laboratory.
All right.
Even
Oh,
the basement itself, you know what I mean? Like for the most part, aside from those few barrels that you guys busted open to soak yourselves.
yeah, we just have
Um,
to rebuild the stairs and put a door on it. We got an underground bunker.
yeah, the stone like support structure, the main frame of the house. There might be like one wall or something that kind of crumbled a bit, maybe. Just from the heat and the as the kind of roof caved in and stuff, it might have toppled one of the supports or something. But for the most part, the stone frame is still
I kind of like the idea of having, it
intact.
just looks like some rubble, but we have a secret thing under the rubble. So if
Hmm.
it's rubble, maybe nobody will mess with it. Anyway,
Maybe.
I'll report back. I guess I'll
Cool.
go up on the hill to the funeral, the mass funeral, and tell Antonio the good news.
Sure. The amount of time it took you to do all that, yeah, would have been they'd still be they'd probably be in the middle of the funeral when you finish all that. So
Do I see Medina's corpse? Like, did they dig it back up to rebury it the
yeah,
proper way?
yeah,
Okay, so when they uncover his
God damn
corpse,
it! I
I'll
keep
start
forgetting to take
sobbing
something.
uncontrollably. Then I will get down in the grave and lay next to his body and just sob.
Okay, I can take that off
Even
now
know the
actually.
poor man that well, you bastard.
See, dude, this is his best friend.
They traveled Africa together, don't you remember?
Medina was like a brother to me.
Well, Luciana's not there anyways. She's having no wine. She's drinking wine. She's drinking way too much wine.
Yep.
Another alcoholic.
I guess all the
Not
Medinas must be a thing that runs in the family.
not on purpose. It's probably her way to deal with the grief of
Yeah.
losing two brothers right
That's
now.
how it starts. All right, so I'll stop for probably like a good 5-10 minutes, and then I'll get out of the grave, brush off all the juices. And then I say, well, there's a life long lived. Now, Antonio, do you have any coin?
Or
I have some errands to run in the city.
I
I've
see.
been I've been gone a very long time.
Yes, I believe I could assist you with that.
Indeed. We'll discuss it tonight.
Of course.
Okay.
Walk away, I guess.
Cool. So the rest of the funeral finishes. Then Klaus and the two cousins go and pull out Giacomo's remains. Like, he said it's mostly ash anyway. You can finish the cremation if you want, and then put the ashes into a box for uh, for Luciana if you wish to
Yeah, he
do
might
with as
as
she wishes.
well.
So by let's see, that was nearly midday. So by late afternoon, we'll say like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's all taken care of. Klaus, you bring the box of ashes in to Luciana. You guys can all be, in the inn if you wish, whatever. It is one of only three remaining buildings standing in town, I suppose. The stables is packed, right? You guys have 17 horses in there right now.
Yeah, we got to have somebody that's going to help take care of it. I
Need
mean,
a stable boy.
yeah,
Thank you for the ashes.
In the
Yep, two
meantime, I
struggling
imagine
NPCs.
one of the cousins will take care of it. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of yeah. You can use them as as people to man areas.
Well,
Oops.
why not? They're essentially retainers at the moment, so
Yeah.
they may be
Yeah,
family, but
so
they're still retainers. Family are
as
just
Klaus,
retainers that you don't have to pay.
yeah, as Klaus gives Luciana the ashes, he was a I didn't know your brother well. I mean, I knew Antonio well, but he was definitely very brave. It was really unfortunate that he went the way he did, but at least he's in a better place now.
Well, thank you, kind sir, for doing this for me. You did not have to gather the ashes.
I will take her hand and say, "My lady, if there's anything you need, please do not hesitate to call upon me.
Oh,
I'm at your service.
you flatter me, and I will keep that in mind. You are such a charming man compared to some of the rest of these people.
You flatter me. Thank
And she kind of caresses your cheek a little bit.
you. I'll let her do it.
I'm going to go up to Antonio and kind of give him a little nod and kind of whisper that I'd like to talk to him outside for a few minutes.
Certainly. I'll follow you out.
So
And I have to talk to you later too.
we'll just go where there's not a lot of people around outside, somewhere under the shade or whatever. I'll tell him, this has been a terrible situation for this area. I mean, with this mass murder by a cult,
Indeed.
I mean, I'm sure that people in the outlying areas are really afraid of things. I mean, we don't get from the time I've been here, and I don't know about previous than that. Um, I never got anything in my letters from my friend there that lived here, but about this. But none of the royalty that lives around here, they don't look upon this place. They don't protect it. Nothing. So I
Oh,
think I would like to become the sheriff of this place. I think it needs somebody that has some kind of officiality here to give the people some spirit that they're not going to be trampled on like they just did and people murdered
indeed.
randomly.
Indeed.
And it would
Yeah.
it would help us all if we were in that position, and
Mm,
go from there.
yes.
I
Having
just wanted to
some.
run it by you. You've been here longer and you're kind of
Mhm.
the head of the group, so just wanted to run it by you first.
Of course, and that seems like an excellent idea. Having some air of legitimacy to our taking over would definitely be a boon. And I tell you, we lived here over a year, quite a long time. And we never noticed anything. And after when our way to Boston, anytime we would mention Nonsbeck, you saw it yourself, the sudden fear and apprehension in everyone's eyes whenever this place was mentioned. How is it that everyone knew that this was a terrible place, yet we never noticed anything until, well, till the snake reared its head?
Yeah, it was just a big surprise, and
Mm,
even the handyman and the kid, the stable boys, they had no inclination that there was this kind of thing going on in this town. And it just suddenly, I mean, forget the pun, but bit him in the ass in the end.
mm,
So
indeed. I can only lament that after St. Peter finished driving the snakes out of Ireland, he didn't come here and do the same. Or
yeah,
St. Valentine. Was it St. Valentine to do the snakes out? You're muted.
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick. Okay.
He's our patron
I'm
saint, for crying out loud.
I don't.
That's
Oh,
what
that
St.
makes
Patrick's
sense.
Day is all about.
That's what it's about. I can't remember this stuff. I'm not
That's
religious.
all right. That's all right. You don't have to be
St.
religious to know St.
Uh,
Patrick. Come on.
I'm ashamed. I'm
I couldn't
ashamed.
remember.
It's all
I'll
good.
throw you in a
I'm
snake
an
if
ignorant American who only speaks one language, even though I have ample opportunity to learn many more.
If your game
Yes,
master, wasn't living in Ireland, nobody would have known, maybe, but still,
someone would have corrected me.
in the
I just
comments
remember.
for sure.
Yeah.
I would have corrected, but I knew Ian would have corrected.
Yeah,
Right, right. St. Patrick's Day. Ah, I thought that was something to do with beer and terrible parades and dyeing the river green.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
so
So,
So
beyond just being
anyways.
the sheriff and running the inn,
Hmm.
we're gonna you're with us. I mean, you're thinking the same thing I am about the stables. We got a good business right there if we can
True.
get somebody to run it for us, like a stable boy. I mean, they don't have to run it, but I mean, take care of it, for
Right.
us. And I'm sure there's some young man out here in the one of these outlying farms or whatever that wants some money, you know. So
Well, after what
all
happened
of
here, I
all
don't
of
know.
those men who seem at the moment, anyway, at least for the last 24 to 48 hours, to be afraid to approach the town. I think
Right.
didn't I don't recall, but I think somebody saw didn't somebody see some of the people kind of watching from a distance, and then they ran away when they saw people moving
They
or something.
did. Hmm.
Yeah.
I suggest that maybe we ring the church bell and draw
Mm,
some attention, and then we
Well, the
could
church is
holler out.
burnt to the ground.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We do still have bodies to attend to, though, those behind the inn and those behind our old home. I should suggest we, at some point soon, build a bonfire to get rid of those for
Yeah,
just
and there's also a bunch of
Christian
those in the
burial.
church as well, although most of them are burnt pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, but you can
We
finish
need
the
to
job.
finish the
if we
job on all of them.
yeah, if we gather all of them together in a pyre and set it on fire, there's going to be a lot of smoke. And I'm sure some of the
Mm,
people who come around the town and they may see us and they see what we're doing. They may be more interested in sending somebody into town to find out what's happening.
perhaps, yes.
We can let them know. And if we could recover the church bell while we're at it, that would be a good thing to present to the community for them to build
Indeed.
another church and they got a bell. That would be
Yeah, Bell
expensive
is
for
not a
them to
cheap
do.
thing. That is true.
True.
Yeah, the
True.
bell would have survived the fire for
Mm.
sure. Might be
Yes.
dinged up a bit from when it collapsed, when the tower collapsed, or the what do you call it, the steeple collapsed and the bell
Right.
crashed to the ground. But it'd still be pretty much intact.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
We'll have
I
to
just
do
wanted to
that
run these things
first
by
thing.
you and get your opinion on them, and we can move forward because I
No,
mean
I
we're
think
kind of living as vagabonds right now, so we need to get something settled where we can know where we're going to be, what's up with
indeed,
it.
indeed.
So what do you think about the house? I mean,
Well, Nigel told me earlier that it seems that my well, yeah, I don't think I ever told you about this, but I had
Well, you
a
you guys all saw it. You all saw it
yeah,
during the fire, remember?
right, the secret
Because
area that I had down there. Well, I had to find some way to get that sealed up again. And were the floors were the floors made of stone?
the ceiling to the basement or the ground floor, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, the floor was stone.
Okay, so that's all
Ba-
sealed up still.
yeah, basically, um, the floor was stone. Everything in the basement was stone,
And the
except
half
except
up
for the cellar door and the stairs.
right, and the upper half of the house was wood.
There was stone like supports,
Right,
but
about
most like the walls and
like waist
everything. Yeah,
high
the
maybe.
the
Yeah.
exterior and interior walls were pretty much all wood with just some
Okay.
stone supports, and the
Okay.
ceiling, the
Right,
ceiling
half
roof
stone.
was wood. Yeah,
Right. Boy,
yeah.
I wish I had splurged and made the whole building of stone now. Mm.
Hmm.
Oh
Lessons
well.
learned.
Lessons learned. We do still have a foundation, I suppose. I'm going to have to try and contact our mason and see what we can get him back here to redo his work.
Hmm.
Perhaps rebuild it out of stone. Although, well, it's a good thing that most of the things down there survived. I do know of a source of income that we could get out of that. There are books down there that a man I know in London would be very happy to receive, I'm sure, even with their dire nature. And I'll contact him as soon as I can.
So are you taking all the other bodies and
Yeah, we're gonna have to before it's gonna
doing
be
a
too.
pyre? What where at the maybe where the church was? You know where the church or
I
where do
don't
you
want
want
to
to do it?
do it on a church because that's well, maybe it's not holy ground. It never was, but yeah, where the church is, because it's already a smoking hole in the ground.
It's already a smoking well, a ruin anyway, and
Yeah,
it's up on the hill too. So it's gonna
exactly.
like the flames are gonna it'll be the most
The smoke
easily
would be,
noticed that way, I suppose. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Smoke's gonna billow up into the sky.
right. It'd be less likely to saturate the rest of the town, although there's going to be some of that.
Do you want to
Anyways, yeah,
do it before or after dark?
I think we should get rid of it now. Take care of it now.
yeah,
Although Nigel
good idea.
mentioned he wanted to speak to me.
I was just wanted to tell you about the basement.
Oh, right. I thought you had done that at the funeral.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
go back to the inn and say, okay, we have some cultists to deal with. Well, their corpses at least. There are some behind the church and some behind the inn and some behind my old home.
Mm-hmm.
We need to drag those. I believe the best place to do that would be at the church where there's additional bodies and hopefully still some fuel.
Yeah, you there is a like a wheelbarrow at the smithy that you can
Okay,
use that'll help you move the bodies.
cool. And then
And
now there's that pit. We could
seems
throw
like
everything into the pit.
something that yeah, exactly, yeah, good idea. It was a 20 by 20 by 20 foot pit, right?
Hmm.
Actually, it was a circular pit. Yes, it was 20 foot diameter and 20 foot deep. Yeah.
Yeah, toss everything down there and heap it with kindling and wood and throw several bottles of oil down there and make ourselves a barbecue pit.
Ew.
Yeah,
Anybody got any marshmallows?
Mm.
Luciana will offer her assistance with helping you.
Okay. Very good.
I want to talk to Nigel.
Sure. You can do that while they're you know, once the pyre gets going, or maybe just before, whatever. You try to talk
Uh,
to him privately, I presume.
oh yeah.
You left, Hobbs. You came back already?
No, he
Yes,
didn't
I've
leave
been.
yet.
Oh, he didn't leave yet. Okay.
No. He's talking. He said he's going to talk to Antonio about the details tonight.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wandering around the hamlet, taking in the sights.
Yeah.
All right, so where is Nigel? He stands out from the crowd, so I'm sure I could kind of find him.
Yeah, I'm there at the end.
All right, so I'll approach Nigel and I'll say, "Is he alone?"
Sure.
All right. Hello. I think we got off on the wrong foot. I am Gideon Hobbs. What is your name?
I am Nigel Wilcox.
And I heard from Antonio that you're a learned man.
Yes. Into
Hmm.
things forbidden.
Tell me, fellow scholar, do you want to see real power?
Don't tease me.
I, I can tell. I can know you're hungry. I can see it in your face.
Yes.
I know. Antonio has been very tight-lipped with his secrets. He's always been.
Yes, he is. So many secrets he has, too. They are in
Uh,
my grasp.
I'm
So
very. I'm sure. I'm very sure. Well, my friend, I've been away for a long time, and I'm eager to get back to my research.
yes. Well, the basement is ready to go.
Hmm.
The
I
labyrinth.
noticed. I noticed on my walk around the hamlet that there is a very large stable full of plump, fresh horses.
Oh, you need some of those.
Indeed, I must continue my work from before I left.
Well, perhaps I can help you, but you must agree to teach me this power.
Oh, I'll do more than teach you, my friend. I will show you the work, the word. You see, I have seen hell. I have been to limbo and back.
Yes.
I know the ways to summon the entities that live there.
Well,
Do you want
that's
do
the
you want
game.
do you want to see that, my friend?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good. I hold out my hand to kiss it.
What?
Kiss my hand, Nigel.
Well, I don't know about that now.
Oh, it's custom for our kind. When they want to learn something, you must give up a small amount of pride. Now, go
I have
on.
very little pride. I
Then you
mean,
should have no problem. Kiss the hand, Nigel.
I take
Walk
his
the
hand and I kiss it, Slavic.
yes. Ah, walk the path to power with me, Nigel.
How many horses do you need?
All of them, my friend.
What?
All of them.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Do I know what I'm doing? You'll see tonight.
Very well.
I'll turn my back to Nigel and then with my long flowing red robes, I'll walk out the door.
I feel a little bit strange, like I made a deal with the devil. Like that man might be insane.
Maybe you did. One of the names of Satan is Old Hob. Just saying. It's a sailor, I think, name for Satan. All right. So that'll take us into the evening. The pyre burns away. Um, Nobody comes to ask, but um, if you're paying attention, you would also notice that you didn't see anybody out working the fields in the near area. Anyway, not within sight of the village. And now it's starting. Well, what time does it get dark? Maybe it's not getting dark yet. Hold on a second here. September 1st, sunset in England. Yeah, no, we'll say, yeah, it's probably by this point, it's getting close to 8 o'clock, so the sun is set. The pyre is dying down. And I think that's a good place to take a quick little bio break. Yeah,
Sounds good.
Yep, sounds good.
let's do it. Step outside for a few minutes and freeze my balls off.
Feels good to be back on Rogues to Riches. Now I can torment everyone.
I don't know if this campaign can handle Nigel and Hobbs.
Oh,
How long are you back for?
I don't know. Probably for a while. Till the whole
See.
pandemic thing is over.
Well, that's
Well,
probably going to be a year or so.
I know, right?
I actually asked our area manager the other day. I was like, "When can we stop? When do you think we could stop wearing these fucking masks in the store? Because I can't breathe in this shit."
Right.
And he said, "Maybe April 2021."
Oh,
Fuck.
man.
Jesus Christ. Maybe, he said
Yeah.
too. I don't even know. Who knows? For all we know, we could be wearing these things for the rest of our lives.
Well, they're definitely more of like a fashion kind of thing now. At least where I am.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a lot of that, which is, I get it, if you have to wear this fucking thing, you might as well put some design on it or something.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my cool one coming. Right now I just
It
have the
depends. I know
company
every
issue.
every state has different rules and stuff. I think in California they're mandatory, right?
Yeah, if you want to go in a place of business, you have to wear a mask.
What if you have a medical condition that prevents you from wearing one?
Shit, I don't know. Never came up.
yeah, I live in Florida and people just don't give a fuck. They're crazy over here.
I don't know
Guess
if
if
you.
you have a medical condition that prevents you from wearing one, then you should be worried about even going outside in the first place.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be going out.
Probably,
Not
yeah.
that people should be stuck in their homes just because of a medical condition, but still.
My dad can't wear a mask, so
Mm.
it's too hard for him to breathe with it on.
Hmm.
At least I think that's why he can't wear it.
Well, might be performing another miracle tonight, gentlemen.
Oh shit.
Yay!
I'm just contemplating. Do I want to use all the horses? Do I want to piss everyone off on day one when I'm
But
back?
coming back with a bang, huh?
Yeah, I'm just afraid that's gonna be beyond your control.
We'll stick to a low level one. I don't want to summon something like last time.
This is 14 horses. That sounds like something large.
I think you can control
Lumberman.
the like number of hit dice that you're gonna summon, but
Yeah, you
the
determine that at the
more
start, but from there
yeah,
it's all rolls. But the more, that's why I spent so much money on when I did my one summon, because I
If you
wanted to
feel
make
that
sure I
one
had an
roll,
advantage.
it's more powerful than you intended.
Lumberman, you gotta go big or go home.
There's always
that's
the chance,
true.
though. Yeah, you're gonna summon something that you can't handle,
Yeah,
or
they're
something that'll just end the campaign.
like, hey, these guys saved us from the snake people and then summoned some apocalypse monster from the world.
Maybe if Antonio showed you true power, you wouldn't be so eager to assist me.
I'm still surprised that we survived that. To tell you the truth, that was.
Yeah, I know you guys. I thought you guys were gonna die for sure.
I thought when Medina first died, the whole time I was scared. I was like, shit, because I got delayed poison, but it's like this poison was killing people instantly. So I'm like, shit, we're fucked.
Yeah, the snake.
So I don't know how the hell we survived because I ran out of spells and everything. It was just nuts.
What made me laugh when I was listening to it was when you guys were in that village with the Star Kid.
Oh yeah.
That shit was comedy right there.
I got lucky with that whole poison thing. He took me down in one hit so that he couldn't get the chance to use his poison on me.
And then like the last since I left, I've been waiting for the whole Nonsbeck thing to unravel. Just patiently waiting.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
All I gotta debate now is once I die, am I gonna make another cleric or am I gonna mess with something else?
I think if Hobbs ever dies, I'm just gonna go straight fighter. I haven't been a fighter in a long time.
Yeah, right now we've got 3 magic users in the party.
Yes, for now.
And that's fine.
We should start our own cult. Damn it.
With blackjack and hookers.
Yeah, blackjack and hookers.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna start a cult, you need to fund it, so that makes sense.
Nigel got the inklings of a cult started with this whole Charlotte Web shit.
Yeah, go from snake people to spider cult.
Yeah.
Like it's
All
right.
I know is
Where's that blackjack and hookers line from? I remember that for some reason, but I can't think of where it's
Futurama.
from. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Futurama.
Futurama.
It's Bender. When they first go to the moon.
I love Futurama. That's like one of my favorite shows of all
Wait,
didn't
time.
they come out with like new seasons not too long ago?
Oh,
Well, it was about 4 years ago.
Okay,
4 or
well,
5
more
Yeah,
than
years
they
that.
gave it a they gave it a final season with like a very good send off at the last episode.
Yeah, the last episode was pretty good.
It was, yeah.
but man, I just realized I'm a horrible fucking priest, man.
Well, you're a gypsy priest, so it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I barely pray and do like shit that I'm supposed to, and I kill people all the time.
No, well, you
We're talking
pray
about
all
you
day.
pray every day when you
Pray every day.
cast spells.
And then
Yeah, I
you-
know, but I mean, I do bad things, and then I help like magic. You know, people who use dark magic.
Well, I
So,
can tolerate you.
Yeah, but you do pray every day, and you've kept this alive party alive more than any other of us with all those buffs and shit.
Oh, what do you think of your first day in porn, Joe? I'm a bad Mormon.
What?
Yep.
Who do you even worship?
oh, he's Catholic, so
Oh. Catholic gypsy priest.
Yeah,
Yep.
but Sullivan Jack died, and then magic users took over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he grew up in a Catholic country, and we did a little looking up just to see what kind of religions and stuff the gypsies of the time had. They pretty much just conformed to whatever the religion of their area was for the most part.
the one thing that I think is crazy is when I first started this game and I was playing the specialist, we had like 3 clerics, and it's just like people kept dropping like flies. I'm like, Jesus, man.
It's cool how the group changes and evolves over time.
I remember when I
Yeah.
first started listening, the thing that always stand out in my mind is the fucking diarrhea checks.
Oh yeah,
shit's
that was what
vomiting.
session 5 or 6. That was a rough session.
Yeah, they're all like fucking sick and dying. It was so Lamentations.
Man, I really miss that character too. He was gonna be great. Oh man, poor Jasper.
Yeah, it was diarrhea checks, and then when you guys found that slug cult,
Ugh, don't remind me.
that one was classic.
Yeah, the love slug cult. That was cool. All right, I'll be ready in just another minute. Ooh.
At least Sienna and Nigel are gonna get along just fine.
Maybe I'll try and send Ian some of the new books coming out to use for his campaign.
There you go.
Oh fuck yeah! You know what those books are, don't you, Ronnie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was. I had wrote a message in there. I was gonna ask you that, but
No,
don't
no,
answer now.
no cheating, no cheating.
Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm definitely glad that you're back. Like I had such a blast when you were playing last time. So
Yeah, thank you. It's always fun.
All right. Everybody here, yeah?
Yep.
All right. So it's nighttime. 1st September. It's a little after 8 p.m. Ooh. Oh, you sent that message to me privately on accident, I
Oh.
think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
All
There
right.
we go.
So, yeah, it's dark now. The pyre that you basically made in the pit of the church has burnt down almost completely. Just to like, cinders and ashes. And still, nobody else aside from Luciana and Hobbs has approached the town this day. So, what do you want to do?
Oh, that's a good question. This is the evening. I'm just gonna have dinner, relax a bit, and go to sleep.
I need to meet with Antonio about my money, and then
Yeah,
I'll
All
meet with
right, you
Nigel.
did want some of that.
yeah. Luciana might talk to Antonio.
So I'll just go to Antonio while he's eating his dinner, and I'll say, Antonio, how much coin do you have to spare for an old man?
What is it you need to purchase?
Some basic supplies for my research. Ink.
Mm,
Special ink.
that I don't think
Salt.
I'd be able to assist with. Ink of that nature would be rather
Spices.
expensive. Let's
Spices.
see.
Herbs. You know the
Hmm,
sort.
I do indeed. Let's see here.
If you cannot spare that amount, though, I will deal with 2 gold coins as spending money.
That I can definitely assist with, and I'll give you 5 gold coins.
You've always been very generous, Antonio. I'm very appreciative. Here, let me pay you back something.
Oh,
I'll pull. I'll stick my fingers in my mouth and I'll pull out a 2.
Okay.
And I'll
What did you
set
ever
it
do
on the
with the
table.
one you pulled out before?
Oh, I don't remember.
probably spent it in the other world.
Perhaps. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, I probably traded it in.
So you reach in, you
Uh,
force out another tooth.
Yeah, I'll do a wisdom tooth this time if I can.
Um,
Mm.
yeah. Okay. You have 30 teeth left.
All right, so I'll pull that out. Kind of, my mouth is bleeding, and I'll put it on the table.
Yeah, you take like a point of damage, I think, don't you?
Sure.
Is it a point
Like
of damage
gold
when you
operating
remove
and blue.
when you pull out one of the teeth? I believe. Which was it? That was from eating the brain, right? That turned your teeth to gold. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
treasure. That's what it was called. It's called treasure. Here it is. Tooth can only be sold or counted for experience if it is pulled out of the character's head. Okay. No, there's no damage. Never mind. No damage.
All right.
Yep.
Here you go, Antonio. A
Mm,
small price to pay for your generosity.
I see. Fascinating. And I will pick it up with a piece of cloth and wrap it up and stick it in my pouch.
Cool. All right. I'll kind of juggle the coins in my hand a little bit, and then I'll walk out the door. I have a meeting with Nigel to get to.
Okay. So you give him your tooth. You got the 5 gold coins, which is exactly what one of your teeth is worth. And yeah. So you go out to meet with Nigel, yeah?
Yep.
Where are you meeting him?
Uh, Probably maybe like just outside where the stables will be.
Okay,
I'm in the inn, so I'll just like nonchalantly follow him out.
fair enough. That leaves Klaus, Colin, Antonio, and Luciana in the inn.
Yeah, Luciana will speak to Antonio.
Go for it.
She
Speak away.
will she will approach you because she probably wouldn't be sitting right next to you. Um, she will sit down, uh, put one leg over the other, kind of lean forward, a little bit seductively, but not too. She don't want to come on too forward, but and she just goes, "Well, before my brother came across here, he actually managed to get a letter off to us, and he did mention you by name. You are Antonio Valenti, right?"
More
Do
clear.
indeed.
Yes. He said if we were ever to cross paths, and he was not available, you would be the most trustworthy.
Oh, I'm honored by his trust in me. He was a good man. I miss him dearly.
Yes. Yes, we all will. Same with Giacomo as well. But life goes on, and Antonio's problems is sadly the entire family's problems. So I was thinking of sticking around for a while. There's not a lot to go back to Spain for at this moment in time, especially with the heat of Antonio's pursuers on us too.
I see. And are you of a similar skill set of your brother?
Yes,
Hmm.
I am a little bit more attuned to the language. I'm very good with picking up certain languages and knowing languages. But
Interesting. Knowing someone who can translate numerous texts is always a good thing, especially for a scholar such as me.
yes, I try my best. Some are just too difficult sometimes. But
Indeed.
anyway, I would also like to understand the other people in your party. If the guy Nigel here, he came across a little bit weird, but he seems like a nice man. I think I will get along with him quite well.
Well, I think you would be able to absolutely get along with him well. He seems quite taken.
Yes,
He's a man of simple desires, I have found. But
yes,
I would
quite.
beware. I would be cautious just the same.
I am always
Because,
cautious. Men, I get many men's attention.
I'm not surprised. And I'll grin and give a little wink.
Yeah, she'll wink back. She'll play along, and she'll point to discreetly point her over to like Klaus and Colin to ask who they are and a little bit about them.
Of course. Colin is a recent member of our community here. He was a good friend in your correspondences with your brother. Did he ever mention Colin Frost?
He's not mentioned Colin Frost, but he would have probably
Or
mentioned.
Cole Frost? Cole Waif. I almost forgot his name. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Ron. Or Rob.
Yeah, yeah. I think he probably would have mentioned Klaus because Klaus was there at that point. Klaus was back at that point, wasn't
Yeah, Klaus is around then too. And so Colin was a member of the same mercenary company as Cole. When we lost Cole, he came to gain his inheritance from his brother in arms. He is a good man as well, an excellent warrior.
he? Well, you need someone good with a sword,
Indeed.
especially in
Klaus,
these times.
indeed. Klaus we became acquainted with when we were still in Amsterdam. He is believe it or not, a Catholic cleric and a
Ah,
gypsy. Also an
Un-
excellent man. He has saved our lives more than anyone else that I can think of.
Unusual combination, gypsy, Catholic.
Well, as I
Well,
understand it, they tend to conform to the religion in their area that they frequent. I'm
however,
not a scholar of the gypsies, though.
we get many gypsy folk in Spain, come in and out. So,
Indeed.
and that strange man, I may have been a
Hobbs.
bit too forward with him, allowing him to call me Lucy. I feel like I put mistrust in him, telling lies about my brother.
Hobbs is an interesting man, to say the least. He is the one I would be most cautious about in your endeavors.
I get the sense he is mentally unstable in some way, shape, or form.
That may be, but when you're in the sort of business that we've dealt with, everyone gets a little unstable at points.
Hmm.
You
Well,
see,
I will treat him like I would treat anyone, and I will just keep an eye on him.
indeed, yes. Just be cautious with anyone, of course.
Yes, well, you, Antonio, you can call me Lucy. I will give you that honor.
Oh, I thank you quite much.
Yes, well, I may retire for the evening. It's been a long few couple of days.
Do you know the business your brother was running of? He told me some of it.
Not. Well, I know what he was running from, yes.
Okay,
I know all of that. I traveled with that same group. A lot of us did. But,
I see. I would be careful throwing around the name De Medina,
yes,
lest it bring unwanted attention.
it's why I only introduced myself to Mr. Hobbs as Luciana to set up.
Wise choice. I did grace your brother with the moniker of Gil de Silva, but I would not, of course, expect you to use that name as well, since he was known by that for quite a long time. That may not be quite a good cover, unless you're not worried of such a thing. I leave that into your capable hands.
Yes, I am not as paranoid as Antonio,
Mm,
but I will keep my guard up. You never know.
of course.
But to be fair, I can be frank with you. We were actually on our way to inform him that his wife and children were executed.
Oh my.
Hmm.
Well then, perhaps he was spared a greater tragedy.
Yes, I fear that it was better he died not knowing.
Mm. Oh, if what the priests and such say are true, perhaps they have met again in the afterlife.
I would I would hope so. Have you? Is there a spare room I can sleep in? Because
How many rooms are in the inn?
There, oh, I am unmuted. I was going to unmute myself. There are 8 rooms aside from the big room, which has the lock.
We were using 4 of them. The big room is locked. I'll move out. I'll move into the locked room, just because that has all the stuff we want to keep safe in there.
Also, the biggest room
And
by
give
far.
her,
It's got a nice
yeah,
big bed and everything.
yeah, I'll take that one then, and I'll give her one of the other rooms. Yes, there's no locks on the doors, but I'll let her know which ones are free. Colin and Klaus and Nigel all have one of them.
that is fine. I just feel it's been a long time, a long day. I need to really process what has happened to my
Indeed.
family, and I will retire for the evening.
Of course, and I'll stand and I'll show her to her room. And there's room for your cousins as well. There will
Yes.
be a spare.
If you need anything, don't be shy. Ask them. They will do whatever they can. They're a bit simple-minded, but they will get the jobs done if you need them.
Indeed. I'll take her hand and do like the whole continental brush the lips across the knuckles and good evening, my lady.
Thank you.
I'll leave her to her room. Oh, they don't lock. Perhaps you have a wedge or something you can use to steal yourself in. Good night.
I just realized she was probably speaking. You could speak Spanish, so
Yep.
it would be fine if she was speaking Spanish.
Yep. I would immediately answer in Spanish
Yes, that's
with my Italian accent that I'm terrible at, despite knowing many Italians.
All right. Colin and Klaus, what are you guys doing?
Paz was probably just drinking for a little while, especially after burying everybody, but he would definitely go to lay down after a while.
Okay.
What time is it?
We'll say after 8 o'clock.
I take a tour, going around outside. Going to the stables,
Do a
going to where our
patrol.
house used to be. Yeah,
Okay.
just patrolling, making sure it's nothing bad.
All right. Luciana has gone to bed, as has, I believe. I don't. You didn't say necessarily you were going. Did you say you're going to
Yeah,
bed?
I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
bed. Yeah.
Okay. And Antonio's gone to bed. Colin will patrol around. Klaus has gone to bed. Nigel and Hobbs. So, Hobbs, you walk out and you said you're going to walk over towards the stables?
Yeah, I won't stand like directly in front of it, but I'll just kind of lurk in the area.
Yeah, Nigel follows you out anyway.
All right. I won't say anything until we're in the general area of the stables.
Okay. You are now in the general area of the stables, both of you.
I'll pull my hood on my back of my robe up to over my face, obscuring it, and I'll say, "Nigel, are you ready to see true power?"
Yes, get on with it.
Oh, you've had patience for so long, but now you're so eager.
Antonio always tells me of his power, but he's never shown me anything. Just empty promises. I'm tired of talk. Let's see it.
Well, my friend, very well. Step into the stables.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me, Hobbs. Tell me.
All right.
What'd you roll?
A 4.
A 4. Okay. You guys slip into the stables before Colin comes out on his patrol.
Do we see him patrolling or no?
No.
All right. Quickly, Nigel. Close the doors behind you.
Yes.
Do you have a lantern?
I do.
No?
I do.
No. Light it. Hurry.
Now, don't kill all the horses. Leave about 6 or 7 of them.
No, my friend. We must use all of them.
We'll need these horses.
Oh, very
7,
well.
dude.
How many do you want to keep, Nigel?
We'll keep 7, and you can have 7 for the ritual.
How many
You have
horses are there total?
17 with the 3 that Medina's brought.
I will take 10 horses, Nigel.
Fine. This better be worth it.
It will be. It will be. Of course, I usually do this with children, but
What?
you have to do what you have to do.
Sorry, Dark One.
What?
Children are an excellent conduit for the other side, you see.
Well, it's good to know they're useful for something.
All right. Is there like a bar or something you could bar the door with?
I guess so.
For the stables?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, fine. All right,
There's
Nigel.
not.
I will pick out the horses you want to keep.
All right.
Now, I will begin casting the ritual.
Wait,
When I give you the word.
Or should we do it up on the hill?
What phase of the moon is it tonight?
Oh, good question. Let me pull up my moon phase calendar. I have that bookmarked here. Bookmarks. Rogues to Riches. Moon phase calendar. Let me just get to the right month. July, August, September 1st. It is 2 days before the new moon.
No,
So the
the
moon
moon is not
is,
right.
that's waning, right? Yeah.
No, the moon is not right.
I
It
don't
will
want
be.
something to come through and destroy the stables and kill the rest of the horses.
Very nitpicky, Nigel. I don't like that. Wasting time. Just
Just
pick
do it.
out the horses.
Get the horses you want and take them outside. We'll do it along the road.
No. You must do it out of sight. We don't want to be seen.
Back behind the burnt house in the woods.
Fine, Nigel. Fine. Take out the horses.
Now,
We
Rob.
must, we must be somewhat discreet about this.
All right, so I'll go peek my head outside, see if I see anyone wandering around.
Rob, give me a d20 roll and compare it to your wisdom.
One.
A 1?
A one.
Okay. So as you come out and start on your patrol, the first thing you notice right away is that, oh, somebody's in the stables. There's light coming from inside.
Do I know that the Antonio's cousins are supposed to be out there, or they've already
Nope, they
came
were
up to
both
you?
in the inn. Um,
Okay.
but you rolled a 1. You know that Nigel and Hobbs both left before you did.
Okay. I'm going to
You're the
try
sheriff
to.
of Nonsbeck now. You pay attention to these things.
It's true. I'm going to try to sneak
Okay.
around
hmm
and watch what's happening, just very quietly, trying to
So
stand in a shadow somewhere.
you see where the stables are on the map, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is nighttime, so it's pretty dark out. Where do you want to hide?
Maybe on the edge of the inn, the corner that would be pointing to. You're looking at it there to our right, so he could try to stand
The the
off
the
to the.
the back of the inn up on the hill, or the front of
No,
the inn down
the
on the?
front, the
Okay.
front of the inn down in the
Okay.
leads to the road. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Okay.
not too far to look.
So Hobbs, you look out. Yeah. Um, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Roll search for me, Hobbs, and you can roll stealth for me, Colin. D6s.
I got a 4. I
Okay.
failed.
Would you roll on your D6, Colin?
Sorry, I thought it wasn't muted. I rolled a 4 out of
You rolled a
6.
4. Okay. So you're not hidden particularly well, but Hobbs also isn't particularly perceptive. So as he looks out, looks around, no, you don't see anybody watching.
All right, Nigel, the coast is clear. I'll grab like 5 reins for the horses and I'll lead them out.
Okay. You see Hobbs come walking out of the stables leading 5 horses.
I'll lead out the other 5.
And then Nigel comes out leading out 5 more.
I'll walk
We're,
out. Hey, what you guys doing with my horses?
Your horses?
Yes.
These are my horses from the men I hired. I paid for them and then they were killed, so they're horses.
No. That's not how it went. Now put the horses back in the fucking stable. You
I'm gonna
guys
keep.
leave them alone.
I'm gonna keep
That's
walking.
horse thievery is a
Calm,
hanging crime.
please calm down, Mr. Frost. Nothing unwarranted is going on here.
Yes, you're stealing horses. Are you
I
either put them back, or
misunderstand.
you're gonna suffer the consequences of not putting them back, or rally the house and you guys will be hung for horse stealing.
You
That
need calm down. I'll put the horses back. Why are you?
well,
Why?
you just said you wouldn't. Now, are you going to or
I
not
didn't
going
say
to?
that. I said there was a misunderstanding about the ownership of the horses. Calm down. Why are you so bossy all of a sudden?
Because you're out here at nighttime straggling around taking 5 horses without talking to anybody about it.
I,
That's if nothing else, that's community property.
I talked to Nigel about it, friend, and he said it was perfectly acceptable.
Listen, Mr. Collin, there is no problem here. Go back to the inn, charm person.
Oh, okay. You
Oh, wait a
cast.
second. Wait a second. Yeah, okay, I got it prepared. I was gonna say.
Now we got 2 Rachels in our group.
Charm person, is it? Let's see here. I know you get a saving throw, Rob.
Yeah.
So you can roll a saving throw versus magic. Roll a
Okay,
d20.
what are D20? Okay.
Yep. What's your
Let's
intelligence? Do you have
see.
an intelligence modifier?
I'll look and see right now. Hold on. Okay, it's a minute here. Well, I rolled a 6 for a D20.
You rolled a
And,
6. Uh-oh.
yep. And intelligence, no modifier. Just, let's see, saves versus magic. No, it doesn't look like it.
So that is a fail, and you are now utterly enamored with Nigel and desperate to please him. It's not mind control. You retain your personality and you control how you act, but for your utter fascination with Nigel. Um, he can articulate his desires if he expects you to do anything. Any request which is not against your own interests or personality, you will simply follow. Any request which is against your interest or personality triggers another saving throw to refuse the request. And if that saving throw is successful, you refuse the request, but the charm remains. If, as part of a request, the caster promises you something that you normally are inclined to want, then the saving throw is not necessary and you will comply.
I'm gonna request
Any
that.
abuse or neglect of the subject will trigger another saving throw to negate the charm, and any murderous violence towards the subject also triggers a save with a +5 bonus. The
I'm
subject will realize that they've been the victim to mesmerism and retain full memory of their actions after the spell ends.
Very good, Nigel.
I'm
Very
gonna
good.
request that you acknowledge that these horses are mine, and then go back to the inn. Would please me greatly.
Give me a saving throw, Rob. Another saving throw to deny that request because it is against your nature to just let him take the horses.
17.
That's a success. No, you can refuse. You're still enamored with Nigel, but it's just too much against your nature to allow him to just take 10 horses.
All right, I'll take the horses back. I'm taking them back as we speak. You go on back to the inn. That would please me
You
greatly.
know, Nigel, it's such a nice night. Perhaps your friend would like to join us.
No, no, go back to the inn, Colin. Go back to the inn and go to sleep, Colin. It's all just a dream.
Give me another saving throw, Colin. Because again, that is still kind of against your nature. You're the sheriff. You
Yeah,
were on a
I guess
patrol.
I lost on this one because it's a 9.
Okay, well, he is taking the horses back.
Yeah.
So,
So I go back to sleep, or go
so you,
to sleep, I guess.
so you don't finish your patrol. You go inside and you go. You are pretty tired, so yeah, you
Yeah.
go back to your room. Okay.
And as soon as he goes in, we'll get the horses and get the hell out of here.
Shame.
Right.
He would have made such a wonderful guest for our, our night of fun.
No, I don't think he would have.
Hmm. All right. Where is this hill you speak of, Nigel?
Back here behind the burnt house in the woods.
That sounds hella creepy.
No one will see us.
Good, good. All right, I'll go. I'll walk over there with the horses. Now, arrange them into a circle, Nigel. Have them face each other.
Okay. I do.
All right. All right. When everything's in prepared, we'll tie them together, and then now Nigel, when I finish speaking the ritual, you will slit all the horses' throats.
Am I like learning this as we go? This ain't how it works.
What do you mean? Do you
should
not trust me?
teach me this power before you do it.
You can only learn by seeing, Nigel. That's the true way of magic.
I've never learned anything that way. It's always
Well,
been days.
I can see that's why you're such of low stature. You've never had a true teacher. Now, quickly, prepare yourself.
Prepare myself how?
When I finish the ritual,
What should I be expecting?
you will see, Nigel. You will see into the abyss. Are you ready?
Very well.
All right. I'll raise my hands to the sky and I'll start speaking the magic ritual of summon.
Okay. So the first thing you need to tell me. Actually, let me start a new. Hobbs.
I'm taking notes.
Hobbs. Summon. So, how many hit dice are you going to attempt to summon? Cannot be more than
I'm
twice
not
your
feeling
level.
very. I'm not feeling very ambitious tonight. So let's stick with one hit die.
Little baby demon. Okay. One
It's just
hit
a
die.
test, just a show of power for Nigel.
Okay. Make a saving throw versus magic.
All right. 19.
That's a pass.
Yes, yes. The ritual is going well, Nigel.
Okay. Now we need to. Okay, so default stats are one hit die, AC 12, one attack. Oops, wrong number. One attack for 1d6 damage is the base. Move 120 and morale 10. Okay. Now roll a d12.
4.
And roll a d3.
2.
Okay, so that changes the move to 180. Okay. Let's see. Next step. Hit dice. Okay, wait a minute. Each basic form. Yeah. Okay. The base hit dice of the creature the caster wishes to summon determines the type used. Die type used to determine additional features as below. Okay. 1d4. So roll a d4.
4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll again.
All right. Getting a little nervous now. 1.
1. Okay. That was on the d6, right?
That's on D4. You want me to roll D6?
Right. Oh yeah, your first roll was a 4. Your second roll was a 1. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now roll d6. Yep.
Okay.
That's fine.
6.
Okay. I roll another d6
1.
and one more d6.
1.
Okay. Now roll another d4, please.
Nigel, prepare your blade.
Oh, it won't matter because you rolled a 1 last time. So yeah, that we can skip that part. We can go on to step 4 now.
All right.
Again, use the base hit dice of the creature. So it's this. So roll, yeah, roll d4.
2.
Okay, and roll again.
4.
If the saving throw was successful, the MTS was less than. Okay, no, none of that. Okay, we skip this part. No, move on to step 5. Now, the domination roll. One on behalf of the character, one on behalf of the entity. I'll roll for the entity. Caster's level, and sacrifice modifiers are added to this roll.
Now, Nigel, slay the horses.
Okay, I would draw out my long sword and start cutting throats.
Okay. Yeah, the horses, after the first couple, the horses try to break away, but you had them all tied together there, so they can't really. So after the first 2, the last 8 are a little harder to kill because they were trying to resist. They might be kicking up and stuff, but you could manage it. Now, what is the hit die modifier? If I recall correctly, for sacrifices is 1 plus 1 for every 2 hit dice, right?
Yeah, so it should be a +5.
Yep. Okay, cool. So that's plus 5 plus your level. What level are you?
5.
5. Okay, so that's 10. Um, all right. So the creature adds hit dice to its roll. Okay. Okay. So roll d20 plus 10. Hobbs.
Got a 13.
Okay. The magic user wins. The margin of victory determines how many d10s to roll to determine how many rounds a creature will be under your control. So you must concentrate on controlling the creature for this period of time. If the caster's concentration is broken, there must be another domination roll to determine if the creature will remain under control. The creature returns to its dimension when this time ends. So if you win by a great margin, equal to or greater than 5, plus the creature's hit dice, plus the number of its powers, yes, you did. You can demand a longer service of a creature without needing to consciously direct it. Details of this service must be communicated in a clear and succinct manner. You did not win by a margin of 19 or more, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Clear and succinct manner. Okay, got that. Did it say the number of d10s were rolled? How many d10s are to roll to determine how many rounds? Right. Okay. So go ahead and let's see. You rolled a 13. You said was your modified roll,
Unmodified, yeah.
and I had a 4. So, oh, you rolled a 13 unmodified.
Yeah, unmodified.
Oh, so you had a 23.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on then. You did win by 19 or more. The creature will be bound permanently in our world and under the complete control of the caster with no direct concentration required to maintain this control. So
Yes.
there we go. So you will have this thing indefinitely, and you don't have to require concentration to maintain your control. Wow, you really nailed it. I also rolled a 3. That didn't help. Now
Hobbs has returned.
What is it?
is
You will see. It's coming, Nigel. The door is opening.
This better be good.
So after you slay the last horse, and he utters these words, and you're like, "This better be good." There is a crackling in the air, almost like like lightning had struck, and you see a space in front of Nigel, like a tear in reality. It's almost like as if the world were just a painting and something had ripped through the painting. And a dog like creature crawls out of it. Um, it's no normal dog, it kind of reminiscent of a hellhound, but small, but it has these red, smoldering eyes. And it has a long, slimy tail. The tail has no fur on it. It's just like, it's really, really disgusting. It's got this green, like slime almost dripping off of the tail. As it comes forward before Hobbs, and it sits in front of him and looks up at him. And then it speaks in, what's your native language? English, right, Hubs?
Yeah, English.
It speaks in perfect English and says, "What is thy bidding, my master?"
Yes. Do you see, Nigel? Do you see my power?
You killed 10 good horses for a limp dog with a slimy tail? That's
Oh,
pathetic.
oh, Nigel.
Ridiculous.
Do you
You
wish me to
insult.
kill the detractor, master?
What can it do besides speak?
Let me show him.
What are his powers, Ian?
I don't have to tell you.
Nigel, I don't like your attitude.
Yes.
Well, you promised to show me into the depths
Slimy
of the
tail begins to wag.
This is not the depths of the abyss.
The dog rises up on all fours and it kind
Do
of
you not see I've
punches
summoned
down
Cerebus?
like it's ready to pounce.
I've summoned Cerebus, the hellhound from Limbo, and you still deny my power.
I mean, it's kind of impressive, but 10 horses? I don't think it was worth 10 horses. The rest of the group's going to be mad. Colin is going to try to do something. You're going to have to pay for them horses.
Oh, Nigel. Do you not want this power as well? This was just
Master,
a test.
say
A
the
small
word,
power.
and I shall tear the flesh from his throat and feed upon his blood.
Okay, I'll take the power, yes. It is pretty cool.
Now, bow before me, Nigel.
No, I don't know if we need to do all that.
Bow before me, Nigel.
The
I will
dog
not.
growls, but it's a growl that like rumbles, kind of like you know that feeling. You ever had a jet fly by really low, like a fast, like a fighter jet? You feel that rumble in your chest. You can feel that, Nigel. You feel it too, Hubs, as the dog growls.
You're going to sick your beast on me?
I won't ask again, Nigel.
I cast web.
Okay. Cast web on the dog.
Sick 'em, boy.
Let's call it initiative. Roll a d6 because the dog was already ready to pounce.
Oh my god.
And it's intelligent, so it knows like you're casting a spell.
I
Yeah,
rolled
three.
2.
You rolled a 2.
3.
Okay, the dog leaps forward and attacks Nigel. What's your armor class?
15.
I missed.
Worthless beast.
One fucking hit die. Yeah, it leaps towards you, Nigel. Like teeth. Its mouth opens. And you see these yellow, like too long teeth for a normal dog. You know, it's obviously not a normal dog.
Right. I won initiative. Can I cast a spell?
Hold on. You didn't win initiative over the duck. So it leaps
right.
at you, but you manage to just kind of like lurch back into the side a little bit, and the dog just brushes against your shoulder as it lands, not even 5 feet away from you, and quickly turning again towards you. Now you may go, Hobbs.
All right. Since he has denied my power, I will cast magic missile.
Oh shit.
Wow.
All 5 of them at Nigel.
I warned you, Nigel. I warned you. Yeah, I'll cast all 5 of them.
All right. I'll roll these. It's a 5d6, right?
Roll all ones, I might survive.
It's D4s, not D6.
Is it d4s? Okay.
Yeah, it's
why don't you-
D4s.
5 d4s. How many hit points do you have, Nigel?
I have 7.
All right, you're at -3.
Oh, God.
You're still alive. Maybe roll it. Oh no, you're still alive. Yeah, because that's -3. -4 is when you die, right?
Yep.
So you cast magic missile. What do your magic missiles look like, Hobbs? I don't remember.
They were like fluttering iron keys with like moth wings.
Oh yeah. So these things tear into you, Nigel, and you lose consciousness. and collapse to the ground.
Oh, Nigel, Nigel. All you had to do was bow.
The dog
I don't
says,
want to.
"Yes, may I feast upon his flesh."
No, Nigel will not die tonight. Go to the inn. Bring the gypsy priest.
Oh, that's a cool one, Merrick. You just Google keys with moth wings. Well, anyway,
No, I did. Just googled flying keys, and that's like the first image.
cool. The so the dog disappointedly lopes off towards the inn.
Quickly, dog.
Now, who's still awake in the inn? Uh, Colin has gone to bed. Antonio, Klaus. Oh, nobody's awake in the inn, I don't think, yeah? They all went to bed. Let's see here. What about your cousins? Would they stay up late, Luciana, or would they go to bed early as well?
They would probably. What time? What time is it?
Like not even 9 o'clock yet?
No, they'll be awake. They'll
Okay.
be awake.
Yeah,
They'll probably
so
be drinking at the bar.
yeah. They hear this scratching at the door. And one of them goes to the door, answers it, opens the door, and there is this fucking demon dog there with a long, slimy green tail, glowing red eyes, and huge yellow fangs. And it says, "I come for the gypsy priest."
They just point straight in the direction of it.
Say again?
They would point in the direction of the gypsy priest.
Okay, they point upstairs.
Yeah.
And the dog pushes past and just like starts loping up the stairs. And will probably start realizing that it's a hallway and a bunch of doors, doesn't know which one it's in. Probably scratch at the biggest door first. Antonio, are you asleep already or are you still awake?
Oh yeah, no, It was an exhausting day, hauling bodies and other
Mhm.
shit with my one leg. So yeah, I'm asleep.
Yeah, let's call it just roll a constitution roll. Roll a d20 compared to con.
No, I did not make that.
You did not make your con roll. Okay.
No.
Yeah, so you don't
Oh
hear
yeah,
this.
definitely not. I forgot my con is way down now.
Oh
Damn
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you're sound asleep. You don't hear the scratching at your door. As no one answers, it'll move to the next door. Is anybody in the room next to Antonio's?
I'm in the big room now. Remember?
Yeah, I know
I
you are.
I,
I know you
Okay.
are.
I probably was in the room next to him.
Okay. Klaus, are you awake or have you gone to sleep already?
Well, I rolled and my con is 11 and I roll a 7, so I don't know if that's a fail or not.
Con's 11, you rolled a 7? That's a
Yeah.
pass. You hear scratching at your door.
Okay, open the door.
You open the door and there's this hellhound there. Um, Not a true hellhound. It's more like a medium-sized dog. It's only got one hit die. um, but it looks, for all accounts, like a small version of a hellhound. You know, glowing red eyes, huge yellow fangs, green slimy tail, which you never don't know where the fuck that came from. Maybe it's got mange or something. But it then speaks to you in English. It says, "I come for the gypsy priest."
Oh God, what have I done to make you mad at me? It's my time.
What do you do?
I pray for forgiveness.
You start praying. You just drop and start praying.
Yeah, I just start saying, "I'm sorry, God. What have I done to feel your wrath?
Foolish mortal, where is the gypsy priest?
I am the gypsy priest."
Then you must come with me.
Fine, lead the way. And he's like,
Follow.
he got his prayer beads out,
The
and he's like
master
making
calls
crosses.
for you.
I'll follow this dead dog. I'm probably like not even like I don't got my armor on or weapons or
You're in your fucking small clothes. Yeah. All right. The dog comes a little bit back. So you walk down. You see the two cousins. I imagine they're kind of just like terrified.
Yeah.
he would look at him and he would be like, "Go to sleep, go to sleep."
They'll continue drinking. Nervous, nervously, but they will continue drinking.
The dog leads you out the door, which is still open. And yeah, and it leads you out back behind the house and into the woods. And you see Hobbs standing there. I presume. Are you still standing there, Hobbs?
I'm standing over Nigel.
He's standing over Nigel, and they're surrounded by a circle of dead horses. 10 dead horses, in fact.
Are, are you the gypsy priest?
You
Do
knew
you really
Klaus.
need to ask
Didn't
that?
you know
Oh
that?
yeah. Klaus. Quickly. Nigel has fallen.
What have you done? He's gonna look at all the horses and he's gonna be like, really? Like you couldn't behave yourself?
The dog
Nigel
says, "Do as the master bids you, human. Master."
Fine, fine, fine. I'll kneel down and how much HP does Nigel have? Like his max?
7.
How much do I need to heal to get past the negatives?
Oh, just like 4.
Okay, so
3 to 0, but 4 to 1, yeah.
I'll sacrifice my health and you will see me like getting the scars of where he got hit at.
yes, Nigel took a nasty fall.
Yeah, I feel the fall, that's for sure.
Roll of wisdom for me there, Klaus.
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, he didn't fall. He's standing in a fucking weird circle of sacrificed horses,
Well,
and
I
his
I
wounds
kind
are
of
not
figured that.
consistent. His wounds are not consistent with falling.
What I was thinking is when I cast sacrifice, like every time. I don't know if you want me to do this or not, but I figure every time I sacrifice health to heal somebody, like I get the scars instead
Yeah,
of them.
yeah, it makes
So I will
sense.
feel where he got hurt. So
So you heal up 4 points damage, yeah?
I healed everything I needed to.
Oh, sacrifice, yeah. So
Yeah, sacrifice. I give him whatever amount I want to.
yeah, so how much you want to give him?
in total.
I want to give him the his max plus whatever he lost.
Okay, so you can give him 10.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, you take on all of his wounds.
and
When he
And
wakes up,
Nigel, you waken to Klaus standing over you, wounded. Well, probably kneeling over you, wounded.
I scramble to my feet. I pull out my gun. I'm like, come on, get away from this man. He's insane.
now Nigel, you only took a nasty fall.
A fall.
Calm yourself.
I start
Don't want
backing
to,
up.
we don't want to spread hysteria through the hamlet.
I'm grabbing Klaus by the shoulder and I'm backing up toward the town.
yeah, he would grab Nigel. He'd be like, "Come on, let's go inside." And as he's leaving, he's gonna look at Hobbs and he's gonna be like, "Clean this shit up."
The dog looks at you, confused, Hobbs, and says, What do you wish me to do, master?"
Consume the horses. Leave nothing behind.
All right, the dog starts eating horses, like ripping off huge chunks of flesh and crunching on bones. It's gonna be there all night. It's gotta eat 10 horses.
And I'll stretch and yawn a little bit. I think it's time for bed.
Nigel, you're leading Klaus back. Sorry, I forgot to put Klaus's image up on here. You're leading Klaus back to the inn.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably
frantic.
double time. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys do? What do you
That
do when you get back there?
man's crazy and evil. He killed me. He tried to kill me. He has great magics. We must warn Antonio quickly.
Um, so right now, where are we at?
This is as you're going back to the inn from basically walking past the burnt house.
Okay,
Wait,
I'm gonna try to get him into a corner somewhere, and I'm gonna be like, "Look, this man summoned a demon, so he's not somebody you want to mess with." Okay,
yeah, I realize that now.
so why don't we go inside,
We should kill him while
and
he's dead. He's too powerful.
we rest, and we try to
Wait a
forget
minute,
about
you all
this.
know this man. You're friends with him?
unfortunately, I'm afraid with a lot of people that can do a lot of things like this. So
Well, that's fine, but he killed me, damn him. He tried to kill me.
I
I'm sick and tired of people trying to kill me.
listen. I understand, but I can't
Sorry.
really do anything right now. I'm hurt,
I'm sorry. You have
and I don't have any weapons or anything. And I'm pretty sure if I went against him, I would probably die just like you did. So let's go
I'm
inside,
working this
regroup,
all
and
just
then we can deal
down.
with it later.
Fine. I guess it's Mayor Hobbs. We will all bow to him.
But after that, he would come down a little bit, and he would look at him, and he would be like, "You are you alright though? Like, I mean, are you okay?"
Yeah, you're fine, Nigel. You're in perfect health now again for
Yes,
yourself. I mean,
you
minus
saved
the
me
low
once
con.
again. Saved me once again, Gypsy Priest.
It's not a problem, but after what just happened, I would suggest you stay somewhere close to me just in case. And you need to learn how to make friends.
He wants me to bow down to him and serve him. And when I said no, he tried to kill me. It's only a matter of time before the same as he says it to you all. And there's nothing we can do to stop him.
Best I can tell you is talk to Antonio. You guys have more power than I do. I don't have that kind of power.
Yes, I'll
I'm
cross
a healer.
Antonio
That's
and
that's
thank
all I do.
you.
Anyways, let's go. And he would like grab, put his shoulder over his shoulder, his hand over his shoulder, just so he can get up the stairs because he's not feeling well.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
help Ralph back to bed and then I'll look out the window and see if Hobbs is coming.
Oh, Hobbs is coming. Yeah. Yep. In fact, by the time you help Klaus up to bed and look out the window, Klaus is just about to the door.
I'll wait for him to come in with my gun drawn.
Wait for him where? Not in Klaus's room. You're going back down to the common room.
Right in front of the bar, right in front of the door,
Okay.
but about 50 feet away or something.
All right. Hobbs, you walking into the inn?
Oh yeah.
All right. You see
Mr.
Nigel over by the bar with a gun drawn.
Oh, Nigel, how is your head after that
I assume
nasty
the two
tumble?
cousins are still sitting there drinking nervously.
Yeah.
Mr. Hobbs, you have some impressive powers, and I would like to learn them, but I'm not going to bow down to you or any god or deity. Is that understood?
Master, I can disarm him.
Damn, he's done with the horses already?
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about that. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, it's disregard. Yeah, he's gonna be eating horses all night.
Oh, Nigel, you were very right. It was wrong of me to assume you would like to be subservient.
I'm not no subservient little henchman.
You're absolutely right. I was wrong to mistreat you. I
I'm
should treat you
your
as an
equal or your
as
best,
an yes. I should have treated you like an equal.
but you are quite powerful, and I cannot stand against such power.
Now, will you please put the pistol away?
Fine. I'll slowly put it in my lap.
And then you cast magic missile again, Hubs. No, I'm
No,
just-
I have 19 HP. It'll take more than one pistol to take me down.
Fair enough.
I have two.
All right.
Nigel. Maybe we can try again in the morning.
We started off on the wrong foot twice, you could say.
Indeed. There are 7 more horses, and I'll wink and I'll go upstairs.
Tomorrow, maybe I'll teach you something.
I'll go to bed.
All
I'll
right.
go
Go
to
to bed. You all go to bed,
in the basement.
leaving just poor Miguel and Alejandro. Oops.
I'll go to bed
That was
eventually.
the wrong one. What did I do? Oh, there we go. What the fuck? Everything's going crazy.
I'll go to
Yeah.
bed. They'll
Leaves
go to bed
just the
eventually.
yeah. Eventually they go to bed too before the dog comes back.
Yes.
The dog will probably end up sleeping outside.
Yeah, he will watch my door.
Well, he can't. He can't get back into the inn.
No. Well, he'll sit outside the window watching my room.
Right. And night falls. Oh, sorry, it's already night, but night passes on Nonsbeck until the morning of September 2nd, which would be Friday. I think that's a good place to stop this session for now. Experience points. Before I always forget to give experience points until after I turn the thing off here. So let's see here. All right, everybody can have 1,000 XP. Klaus, you can have 1,500. And Hobbs, you can have 1,250. So 1,000 XP for Antonio, Nigel, um, Luciana, and Colin. 1,250 for Hobbs, 1,500 for Klaus. Cool.
Yep, very cool.
Excellent. And we'll pick this up next week for session 53.